So my first memory is going to basic training. So I went to basic training 4 days after I graduated high school, and I was really, really scared. And when I got there, there was yelling and push-ups and all this crazy stuff, and I didn't think I would ever make it. Sure enough, I did. And during basic training, there was a lot of confidence building that I had to do to tell myself that I was gonna make it. Basic training is not easy and never will be. They're training people to fight for our country, and so one of the things I learned about basic training is that you have to build confidence, and you have to tell yourself every single morning when you wake up that you can do it and you will do it. One of the hardest memories in basic training was the morning of the Forge. The Forge is an 18-mile ruck march followed by 4 days of living in the field. During this, you don't have tents. Well, we brought tents, but that was just to make the packs we carried heavier, but we weren't allowed to use them. The Forge involves waking up at 2 a.m. to then hike with 50-pound rucksacks for 18 miles, complete it in 4 hours, or I guess it was like 5 hours, and not get breakfast until you get to your destination. And then it includes the night infiltration course, which is one of the hardest parts of basic training, where at 11 p.m. you go out and you go into a trench, and they're going to shoot live machine gun rounds over your head while you army crawl, and it's a low and high crawl mixture with full battle rattle on and carrying an M4. During this, it's really hard. It's difficult and super, super hard. Then during the Forge, you get invaded in the middle of the night by your drill sergeants, and that was probably the hardest part of basic training. But at the end of that, you're done. That's it. You finished. So I would pick this memory because it taught me a lot about myself. It taught me that I can do it and that I'm more determined and confident than I may be willing to admit. It taught me strength, and it showed me that even though I may physically not be strong enough to do some things, emotionally I am, which helped me complete the craziness of the Forge. It taught me that my family was always supporting me, because when I got back, I got letters from my whole family, and everybody in my family had green lights all around their house and green ribbons, which represents that your soldier is in the Forge. And I would definitely not choose to forget the Forge, although there's a lot of scary moments that happened in the Forge and moments of defeat. All of those moments led to moments of confidence and determination, so I would definitely not choose to forget that memory. My second memory is a really sad one. My senior year was 2020, and in 2020, I went on spring break working a full-time job and never went back to school. Never got to say goodbye to some of my friends, knowing I was leaving for basic training on June 1st. I didn't get to graduate with my class. Instead, I got mailed my diploma. Prom was canceled after I had bought a very expensive prom dress, and I cried a lot. That time was a very depressing and sad time for me, but I also learned a lot. I learned that although things in life are really gonna hurt and really going to affect how the rest of your year may look, or maybe even the rest of your life, but I still had a family that supported me, and I got to spend some extremely quality time with my family, because we were with each other 24/7 for months before I went to basic training. And now living really far away from my family has made me realize that I got that time with my family, because I don't get that time now. I also believe that the class of 2020 is one of the strongest classes out there, because I may have not gotten to say goodbye to my friends, but those friends I call weekly or even daily, some of them. And it taught us that although COVID or distance or anything may separate us, one of the things that our class learned is that technology will never separate us. And I talk to my friends all the time. We have group Netflix and chills kind of thing. And although my senior year can make me really emotional and it's really a depressing thing that happened, I would choose not to forget that memory, because it's important, because a lot of us learned how to be adults. And so I would choose not to forget either of those memories.